first scream rattled through the deserted hospital corridor, but there was no one there. Claire froze mid-step, her flashlight beam shaking as it carved through the thick dust hanging in the air. She wasn't supposed to be here. Locals had warned her. That hospital doesn't stay empty at night. Don't take your camera inside, but Claire was stubborn. A freelance documentary vlogger, she craved the footage no one else dared to capture. Now, as the sound of that scream dissolved into silence, she realized her ambition had led her somewhere she should never have entered. The floor beneath her boots crackled with broken glass. Rusted wheelchairs lined the hallway like skeletal remains, their shadows stretching unnaturally long across the peeling white walls. The stench of mold and something acrid, like burned chemicals, clung to the air, making every breath heavy. Just the wind, she whispered to steady herself, though the air was stagnant and still. She adjusted her camera strap, the red light on her recording device glowing like a target in the dark. The hospital seemed to pulse around her. Every creak of the building echoed like footsteps, and the further she walked, the colder it became. Claire hugged her jacket tight, her pulse hammering in her ears. She passed a faded sign. Ward 6, do not enter. The letters had been scratched violently, as if someone or something wanted to erase the warning. Her flashlight flickered once, twice. Then she heard it. A whisper, "Leave." It was so close it might as well have been breathed against her ear. Claire spun, the camera jerking wildly in her hands, but the hallway was empty, stretching into shadows. She forced herself to laugh, a thin, broken sound. Probably pipes. Old building, but her voice cracked. She didn't believe herself. Pushing on, she reached the operating theater. The room yawned open before her, bathed in darkness except for her quivering beam of light. Surgical tools lay scattered across rusted trays. A single operating table dominated the center, its leather straps still buckled tight, waiting for a patient that would never leave. As she stepped closer, a drop of water echoed from the ceiling, then another. The sound was steady, rhythmic, too much like a heartbeat. Her camera lens zoomed onto the table, and then she saw it. A figure strapped down. At first she thought it was a mannequin, pale, motionless, draped in a stained hospital gown. But when her flashlight steadied, she saw his chest rising and falling. Slow, deliberate, breathing. Her entire body went cold. No, that's impossible. The straps trembled. The figure twitched. Then its head turned toward her. Glowing white eyes blinked open. Claire gasped, stumbling backward, the camera slipping but still recording. The leather restraints snapped one by one, not tearing, unbuckling themselves. The figure sat up, its movements stiff, unnatural, like bones grinding together. "Get out!" a voice rasped, not from its mouth, but from everywhere in the room at once. She bolted. Her footsteps pounded down the corridor, every door she passed slamming shut with thunderous force. Shadows stretched along the walls, twisting into elongated arms that clawed toward her. Her vision blurred with panic. She tried to find the exit, but every turn dragged her deeper into the labyrinth. Then, suddenly, silence. She slowed, breath-ragged, sweat dripping down her temples. Her flashlight revealed a children's ward. Rusted cribs lined the walls, rocking gently though the air was perfectly still. Faded murals of smiling cartoon animals peeled off the plaster, their faces warped and grotesque in the dim light. Something moved in one of the cribs. Claire approached against her better judgment. Inside lay a small doll, porcelain face cracked, eyes missing, its head tilted toward her with a faint creak. And then it spoke. "You shouldn't have filmed us." The doll toppled forward on its own, smashing to the floor. Claire screamed and staggered back, only to hear the faint whir of her camera. It was replaying footage on its own. She looked down. The screen showed not what she had filmed, but something else entirely. Her, standing in the same hallway. Behind her, the glowing-eyed figure. She spun, but no one was there. The corridor was empty. Her breathing grew shallow, chest tightening with panic. This isn't real. It can't be real. She slapped the side of the camera, desperate to make it stop. The video cut out, and then the operating theater loomed before her again. Her stomach dropped. No, I left this room. The table was empty now, the straps dangled loose. A shadow fell across her. Slowly, she raised her flashlight. The figure stood in the corner. Its skin was gray, stretched thin over bones, ribs pressing against its chest. Its glowing eyes locked on hers, unblinking. Its jaw hung slack, trembling as if straining to form words. And then it stepped forward. Every light in the building flickered violently. The tools rattled on their trays. Doors slammed and opened in rapid succession, a deafening chorus. Claire screamed, backing into the far wall as the figure reached for her, its elongated hand hovering inches from her face. But instead of touching her, it pressed a single finger to its lips. Shh. The lights went out. When they returned, she was alone. Her camera lay on the floor, still recording. She picked it up with shaking hands and stumbled blindly through the corridors until somehow, impossibly, she found herself outside. The night air was damp, cold, but real. She collapsed to her knees, sobbing in relief. She never uploaded the footage, never spoke of it again. But 2 nights later, her neighbor reported strange noises outside her apartment. When police checked the security footage, they saw Claire standing at her own door, camera in hand. Only her eyes glowed white. They warn you never to film inside that hospital, because once you do, the film doesn't just capture them, it captures you. If you enjoyed this terrifying story, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Haunted Shadows, and share this video with fellow horror lovers so you never miss a scare. And tell us in the comments, what would you do if this happened to you?